Hey, this is Jaxler. I just wanted to throw a video together to explain and demonstrate how to do the invisible crate route for getting to Cirque de Malaise token. So in order to do this strat, you need to have upgraded throw by the time you get to the end of this tunnel. And so something I generally tend to do in my runs in order to make that a bit more lenient as far as the melee go is when you come through here, cartwheel the barrels, and then after you dodge the spitter, you can blow these crates up, or the ones in the middle here, and then by blowing up the ones at the back end, you blow him up and the crates at the same time, which gives you a pretty big combo, and can really help you get to that upgrade point. And so eventually, once you get to the tunnel here, this is where you can do the invisible crate strat. I generally tend to upgrade my throw like as I'm picking up the crate, because I find that to be a little bit nicer, just so I don't have to worry about moving. So essentially what we're going to be doing to make this strat work is we're going to be doing a single charge, like a single rotation charge throw at this face of the wall in order to get a invisible crate bounce off to land roughly about here. And then we can use the invisible crate box to get out of bounds up there and then cartwheel over to where the Cirque de Malaise token is. And so the way that I set this up is I start by picking up the crate, and we're going to be throwing it into this part of the wall where the blue meets the yellow. It's kind of like this texture on the wall that looks slightly higher resolution just because it's a smaller face of the geometry. And so if I were to come at it this way, this is about perpendicular to that wall. You kind of want to be a little off perpendicular by a few degrees. So what I tend to do is go a little bit to the right, and I kind of line up the center of Patrick's body, or even when I'm rotated this way, I tend to use kind of the bolts on the box as well. What I'm lining up with is there's kind of this blue dot in the middle of that part of the wall. Here, I'll throw this over here. So the one that's under Patrick's head, so like this one that I'm jumping up and covering over with the tip of Patrick's head, that's what I'm looking at for the visual cue. It can also be helpful to make sure you grab the crate from the same direction every time, because it can help you to make a better visual cue by using that. But I tend to find that just lining up Patrick, kind of his body, like so that his body's split down the middle, tends to help. And so you want to be about this distance. You can be a little closer, like here, or you can do it from a little further away, but you don't want to be too close, because then the crate will detonate on the sandhill, and if you're too far, the same thing will happen. So you kind of want to be in a middle ground. It's pretty reasonable. I'm actually a little too far over to, there we go. That should be more like it. There's a bunch of different setups that work, so just experiment with it a little bit. But once you get into a spot that you're comfortable with, you hold down throw, you do a single rotation charge, so just like you hold it until you see Patrick rotate around once, and then you release. And then as you'll see, just like that, you'll see it kind of, that bubble trail launches off the wall and explodes, and so that puts the invisible crate hitbox roughly around here. So if you beef it, you do have another invisible crate that you can go for and use this one to try it again. Or at this point, you can just go ahead and abandon. But once you have the invisible crate hitbox activated, you'll notice that it tends to sort of pull you from front to back, like that. And in order to do the invisible crate jump, what you want to do is you want to figure out where the hitbox is after it's landed. So you can do that just by kind of, moving Patrick around where you think it landed until you find it. And what you want to do is, it's square shaped, right? So you want to be on the furthest edge of that square, and you'll see he'll kind of just like go over like a conveyor belt. You want to be on the crate for as long as possible, and then as soon as once Patrick starts to leave off the top of the crate, you want to input a single jump and hold the jump button. Like that. So that was a really big one, just because this is kind of a pretty sick crate setup. So you can get a lot of height out of this. You can end up getting a lot less as well, but your goal is to use the height in order to get all the way up here, and then from here you can cartwheel down to where the token is. Now, if you get a setup that isn't giving you as much height, something you can do as a backup is if you don't get the height that you need, you can actually go right about to this corner and you can get a ledge grab as well, and that can help you get up as well. Obviously not ideal, but if you're in that kind of a situation, just go ahead and grab this right there and you should be good to go, and then you can just hold forward and you're like not really at risk of falling off. So I'll show that one more time. Yep. Yeah, you don't even have to hold forward. Well, you want to hold forward because you want to go get the token, but yeah, just from here, this is basically your boundaries are like really lenient up here. So once you're up here, you kind of just have free reign to go cartwheel into the token, and it'll be right about here. And then once you get that, what you can end up doing, and one of the benefits of this, is you can just cartwheel straight back to the ice block, just like that. And then if you come up right over here, now the foggers spawn in, so you can do the damage boost to do the ice block out of bounds over here. So that's like one of the big reasons why this strat is nice to have in your back pocket, is it makes it so that you don't have to like kill the enemy or like do the really annoying strat to try to avoid spawning them in the first place. So if anybody has any questions on how to get this set up to work, feel free to let me know. Make sure you check out the Spongebob Movie Speedrunning Discord if you're coming here from YouTube. Thanks for watching. Again, any further questions, just feel free to hit me up. Thanks, everybody.